But first, the reality behind the Instagram shots of some of the country's most photographed destinations. Whether you're after beautiful beaches or the calm of the countryside, tourists have long found views to savour right across the UK. But with the rise of social media have come growing crowds determined to get the perfect picture. While some businesses have boomed as a result, locals aren't always impressed, and it's even led to more visitors risking their own safety, as Amelia Beckett reports.
Scroll through social media and you're never far from the perfect view, a serene swimming spot or a picture postcard village. An online world so enticing, thousands of us are now travelling across the country to experience Instagram bliss in reality. Only when everyone else has the same idea, that reality is not quite as advertised. And in places like Castle Combe in the Cotswolds, social media is now drawing crowds in their droves.
I saw on Instagram and I said it was so beautiful, so I wanted to come here.
So we just started taking a couple of pictures, but it's a really nice. I don't think pictures can justify, but it's really beautiful place.
I heard a lot about it on TikTok and I heard a lot about on social media and on the net as well. It was really pretty. So I came here to just have a look at it and see how it is.
But for Georgina, who moved here 8 years ago for the quiet life, it's now anything but.
It's very intrusive and I always feel compelled to rush indoors and hide from it. You know, we've had people say, oh, I didn't think people lived here. And of course people live here, you know, but yeah, I can't begrudge people wanting to take pictures, but it's just, I don't know what you can do to control it really or police it.
Described as over-tourism, it can be a nightmare for residents. But for businesses who embrace it, the benefits can be fruitful.
Only last week I had an influencer from America that stayed here, and she was in one of the B&B rooms, the pink room, and since it's been posted just a week ago, I've had a huge amount of interest for people that have followed me on Instagram and also looked at my website and made bookings.
Over in the Lake District, stunning scenery in glorious sunshine has always been a magnet for visitors.
And even in weather like this, hotels and B&Bs are full of tourists who flocked here for the summer holidays. But this is a place which can be dangerous, and these trends could be putting people at risk who perhaps don't realise it.
If you're looking for the perfect wild swimming spot in the Lake District this summer, then you're going to want to watch this video.
Hidden gems like these now brought to a mass audience.
I can be in a nice place in the countryside. It literally just takes a change like the weather.
Mike and Phil have decades of experience rescuing people from these mountains. But in the last 5 years, they say the job has changed dramatically, with 70% of call-outs now preventable. And they point to social media as a major factor.
What sorts of things have you been seeing?
Well, the 12 Lake District teams that film LD Samara have had an increase in social media driven sort of preventable call-outs. So people going to seeing somewhere on Instagram, visiting that spot but not thinking about how they're going to get there, how they're going to get back down again, and then are actually taking selfies, falling off the rocks. So we've had in the past week probably 3 or 4 that you could attribute purely to that that type of culture.
You'll find a range of family-friendly water activities available on site.
But what about the people behind the posts? Adele has almost 100,000 followers on Instagram, and some of her videos have almost 4 million views.
We have, of course, seen some of these places overrun and some quite negative consequences. Are you aware of that when you're posting these things online?
When I am creating the content, I do think about the businesses and the residents that live there and make sure that I'm not having a negative impact on them in a way where you're sending loads of people down a place that can't facilitate it. So instead, I'm just trying to make sure that I'm doing it in a very ethical and conscious way.
But with thousands of other videos out there, there's no doubt that many of these gems are no longer hidden. And while businesses will reap the rewards, is the gloss of social media now simply promising too much in reality? Amelia Beckett, ITV News.